A child of glass.
Child of glass.
We're going to read about this girl. Her name is Giselle. And she's fragile but strong. She's see-through and transparent.
He's strong?
Yeah. She does not want to believe that meanness, being mean, or somebody being mean to you, can mark life in the world, so it can make a change in your world. So just remembering to be yourselves and asking the questions and taking the actions that allow us to be in the world as ourselves. So let's see how this child of glass reminds us that.
Oh, look, the glass hand.
There is a glass hand. And it's see-through, right? So one day, in the village near the cities of Florence and Bilbao, a child of glass was born, a girl called Giselle. She had large, lovely eyes, delicate fingers, and something so clear and luminous about her. She was also completely transparent. She's clear. She's just like glass.
No. His hand, what do you say again?
Luminous.
What's luminous?
Luminous is bright. Giselle shone and sparkled. Another way to say luminous. Blending with everything around her, changing color when the sun set, and shimmering like 1,000 mirrors beneath the moon. So whatever color it is, she becomes that color.
Yeah, she becomes that color like nobody cannot see her.
And people from far and wide came from far and wide to see her. Simply incredible. What beauty. Can we touch her? Does she talk? Can we patent her? But how do you find her in a crowd? Have you thought about insuring her? Well, everybody wants to see her. She's so special.
Oh, she's the only one that has glass.
You think so? Yeah, I've never seen a person who's made out of glass.
Yeah, me too.
But none of that meant anything to Giselle or her parents. What worried them was something else entirely. From early on, Giselle had noticed that her thoughts floated in her head, hovering there like helium balloons. This meant that people could see her thoughts as easily as if they were on display in a shop window. Oh, so if you could see everything that she's thinking about, what does this bubble show that she's thinking about?
Paper, a house, a scissor, a leaf, a bird, and a raindrop, and a moon, and a scrabble, and a someone right, and someone eyes, and those dots. And what's this?
I'm not sure, but I guess if you look at her, you know what she's thinking.
Yeah.
What do you think? How do you think that feels? What if I looked at you and I know exactly what you're thinking in your head all the time?
Sad.
All one had to do to see what she was worried about was to look directly at her head. And so whenever she showed some fear or doubt, people would reassure her without ever having to say a word. In this way, she was easily understood throughout her childhood. So that means when she was a baby, she didn't know how to talk, or she didn't even have to talk. People knew, you're hungry, because they would see it in her head. And then they would know what kind of food does she want to eat. Because maybe in her head, she already thought about it. Yeah, or if she needs to go to the bathroom, people would already know, oh, then let me not use the bathroom. She needs to use the bathroom. They already all knew.
Yeah, but what she's thinking about because she's glass and people can see through her.
Or, so they gave an example. If she was scared or something, or didn't know, or was afraid, people would already reassure her and calm her down. But as Giselle grew, she realized that her life was far from easy. Behind her transparent forehead, beautiful thoughts, as well as awful ones, revealed themselves. It was impossible for her to hide her feelings from other people. So here are some of her emotions. She couldn't hide them from people. People would just know how she's feeling all the time. Hiding sensitive as she was, as soon as she felt sadness or anger, one of her nails or one of her legs would develop a tiny crack.
Oh.
So if she was ever angry or sad, she was cracking like she's breaking. Some part of her body
is breaking.
It would just break. People grew cross with her. Grew crosses. They got angry with her.
Why?
Can't you keep your thoughts to yourself? They would say. Aren't you ashamed to show such awful things? Finally, Giselle decided it was too much. Because we talked about emotions. It's normal to maybe sometimes get angry.
Yeah.
So if you ever something you don't like something or somebody or you're angry for a moment, people would know. And then they got angry. Oh, how come you're thinking that way? Why are you upset about that or mad about that or sad about that? And so when people would see what she's thinking or mad about. Sparkling and luminous, sensitive and transparent, Giselle packed her suitcase, kissed her parents, and left. Oh, what's like?
She's crying.
And still crying. A crystal tear formed in the corner of her eye. A large crystal tear formed in the corner of her eye. But everywhere she went, it was the same. Everyone avoided her. So after a few days, she would pack her bags and leave again. She went from city to city, country to country. Wherever she went, she was rejected.
Rejected? What do rejected mean?
People did not accept her. People did not love her. People just kept avoiding her because they could see everything that she's thinking or feeling.
Oh.
Until the day when she had enough of leaving and looking for a place where she might fit in. On that day, content with herself, she turned around and went home, even though the truth could be scary and people preferred to ignore it. And some people don't like to hear the truth or see the truth. They don't want to know what's really bad about themselves, but she's thinking what's bad about them, and then they could see it. And they get mad if you talk about what they're not good at or bad at. But you know what? This day, she didn't want to think like that. She didn't want to fit in with other people or try to be like other people. She was happy about herself. You know, she really loved herself that she has this gift, that she thinks this way. And once home, Giselle lived her life as she was. Just never minded any of everybody. Doing what she wants to do, what she likes to do. Not what everybody wants her to do and wants her to think. Sparkling and luminous, sensitive and transparent, but resolute, completely whole in herself at last. And then what's her mind like now?
Blue.
It's blue.
The end.
The end. And empty, and it's not crowded with all these thoughts, negative, or anybody's thoughts.
Happy.
She can be happy.
Why is she closing her eyes? Covering in her eyes. Why is she covering in her eyes? And she's all blue.